Sup? I don't have time to go to the movie theater this week, but I have been watching a lot of random things. Things that I'd like to discuss. So you know what that means. Movie dump, baby! Werewolf by Night! The 1-hour Halloween special by Marvel is fucking dope. All the elements of a 2-hour-long movie are here. They just cut out the fluff and the color. It's got like this old school Universal Monsters vibe, and it is way cooler than I thought it would be. A group of badass monster hunters competing in a maze against each other to try and win a Maguffin? The Bloodstone? Bloodstone. 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 The Bloodstone. The Bloodstone. The Bloodstone. So no rules free-for-all with monsters, and mostly just left me wanting more. A lot more. But they did so well with the time that they had that I'm not mad about it at all. If Marvel wants to keep doing these 1-hour specials with lesser known characters, I'm game. Cool characters, monsters, dope fights, and blood. Plus, Man-Thing is in it. Man-Thing! Blonde! This is the story of Marilyn Monroe and her relationship with fame. This, folks, is a perfect example of what I like to refer to as a polished turd. It looks nice, the acting is on point, story sucks, script sucks, it's artsy fartsy as fuck. Don't watch it if you want to learn anything about Marilyn Monroe. It's a fictitious retelling based on a book. There's not a structural timeline here, just random scenes with random people that use her in one way or another. I do think that Ana de Armas did her best. Unfortunately, I can still hear her Cuban accent, and that is distracting. I'm sorry. But hey, maybe in this universe, Marilyn Monroe's from Cuba. At 2 hours and 45 minutes, it gets so boring after watching scene after scene of her crying about how shitty her life is. They never even really show you what events lead to the shitty events, just people being awful to her. You could say it's like a highlight reel of abuse, and it's just a mess. We didn't even get any reasonable dialogue between characters, just a few lines here and there. After the fact, because I was curious, I had to do my own research. Annoying. And yeah, most of the shit that happens in this is speculative. I love it when movies give me homework. Yes! What is it about her factual life that wasn't interesting enough to just make a movie about it? You gotta have repeated scenes with a CG floating fetus? I just don't think that the people excited for this were looking forward to that. Oh yeah, and this is rated NC-17. There was so much hype about this being rated higher than an R. Marilyn Monroe gives John fucking Kennedy a BJ. Oh, NC-17, not appropriate for audiences that watch Netflix. But then you've got this #1 suggested thing calling out to you, and it's about Jeffrey Dahmer eating body parts and drilling holes into 14-year-olds' heads. Yeah, okay, that's totally fine. You know what, though? The question that was eating away at me the most was, why in this does Marilyn Monroe call every guy daddy? Ugh. Spectacular Now. This is a coming-of-age flick from 2013. You got Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley at the top of their game in their early acting careers. They're playing high schoolers at the end of senior year. Miles Teller is the popular guy that parties too much. Shailene Woodley is the cute, shy, selfless girl. They meet by chance and they start a fling. Then it just kind of plays out like a coming-of-age story. However, what separates this one from others is how grounded it is. Miles Teller clearly has an alcohol problem that he will not address. But more importantly, it reflects his father's dependency on drinking. You see how he makes excuses for his absent dad, and how it affects him as a person, as he just kind of uses this poor girl, who is just wonderful, and she's way too good for him. In this, he has a very short time period to grow the fuck up, and by the end, I found myself very invested. Super curious how it was gonna end, and I did love how it ended. Great characters, great acting, and one jump scare that will make you shit yourself. Hocus Pocus 2! A new black flame candle has resurrected the Sanderson sisters, and they cause chaos across Salem. while trying to conjure the ultimate power spell. It's cute. I don't think it's anywhere close to the original. And yeah, it's kind of hard to fill those shoes because we're talking about Hocus motherfucking Pocus, which is a Halloween classic. This one doesn't have much of a story. Things just kind of happen from moment to moment. I really did love seeing the Sanderson sisters back together again, and they were the best part of the movie. So yeah, just an okay sequel. Overall, I'd say it's cute. Marcel the Shell, the viral YouTube series from 2010, now has its own A24 movie, and it is fucking adorable. It did get the A24 treatment, so it looks beautiful. For what this is, the color palette is way too good. Just like the YouTube videos, this is a documentary, mockumentary style flick focusing on a shell living his best life. His family and friends have been taken away, and he would like to see them again. That's it. And it's heartwarming as fuck. It is a total feel-good movie that's incredibly creative, that leaves you with a smile on your face. I don't know much about the creator of this, but after some research, he was married to Jenny Slate, who is the voice of Marcel. Together, they created the viral videos, then eventually they got divorced. So somewhere along the line, they got back together, at least on a friend basis, to create this. And in this, his small part of the story, he is going through a breakup or a separation or something. So I can't help but feel that this is also some kind of meta story about their breakup and them coming back together in a creative sense. Hellraiser! Dude! Every once in a while, you get a sequel or a remake that just nails it. And Hellraiser 2022 fucking nailed it. They took the previous 10 movies and they did something new with the familiar lore that you know and love. And if you're a Hellraiser fan, at this point, you go into this world having some expectations. A checklist, if you will. And this flick checked all of my boxes. All the shit that I wanted to see, I got to see. Gore, blood, chains, gross Cenobites, torture, and sweet, sweet suffering. The story is pretty legit too. These characters keep leveling up with the puzzle box configurations. And every time that they solved it, I was excited to see some carnage. It feels like an 80s movie. It's dirty and sweaty and grimy and practical. The effects look so good. And it's because they're practical. If they used any CG, I couldn't tell. There was a bit of a twist that I didn't see coming. That was a nice surprise. The new Lady Pinhead was awesome. She was not fucking around. She had such sights to show me. Whew. What a movie dump, y'all. I feel so relieved to get that load out in the world, you know? Feel free to check out any of these flicks if you have. Or if you're gonna, let me know what you think in the comments, okay? See ya! Subscribe! So in Hellraiser, whenever the Cenobites are summoned, these gates open up, portals, if you will. Walls open, floors open, ceilings open, and, you know, the Cenobites appear to fuck some shit up. In this, there's a scene where the Cenobites get summoned, and the victims are driving a van. So seemingly, the Cenobites just can't get to them. But then there's this shot where inside the van, it just extends. And the Cenobites pull this poor girl into their realm. And that's where they begin the suffering. And it is just... See... Whoa.